Hi everyone, Cheryl here from Love and Light Yoga, and thank you so much for clicking on this video, which is your morning yoga routine for beginners. So as the name suggests, this is completely suitable for beginners. You won't need anything for this, just yourself and your mat, and it is designed to be a full body stretch to waken you up and get you ready for the day ahead. So whenever you are ready, let's begin. So we are going to get started by lying down on our backs today, taking the legs out long and then letting the arms fall up and back behind our head. So we're one big long line on the mat, just one big good morning stretch here. Maybe think about taking the right fingertips a little bit further away, placing the hand back down, and then the left fingertips. Maybe stretching away the right toes, maybe the left toes. Just lengthening out the entire body here. Taking a few deep breaths, beginning to connect to your body. Connect to how your body might be feeling this morning. And then we might choose to stay here, or we might bring in a little bit of a side stretch. So we're going to bring our hands towards the top right hand corner of our mat and our feet towards the bottom right hand corner. So it's almost like we're making this big banana shape with our body. We're keeping our hips in the center of our mat. Feeling a deeper stretch coming up through the left hand side. Taking a few breaths here. Giving the body time and space this morning to open up nice and gently. And then let's come back through center and we'll take it off towards the left. So start by bringing the arms towards the top left corner of the mat. The feet come towards the bottom left corner. Again, the hips are centered and we're feeling this deep stretch through the right hand side. Taking a few deep breaths here, keeping the body nice and long. Deep inhales and exhales, just giving the body time to open. After your next exhale, let's bring it back through center. So the body comes to the center of our mat. And we're just going to bring the knees in towards the chest. So bring the knees in. We can take the hands on top of the knees here. And then we're just going to start to lift the head, lift the chest, lift the upper back. Just curl yourself into a little teeny tiny ball here. Just for one big inhale, a full exhale. And then release the upper body back to the mat. Let's keep the knees in towards the chest and just find a little rock from side to side. So we're just massaging out the lower back on the mat. Just slowly beginning to connect our body with some movement. And then let's come in to center, back to stillness. We're going to drop soles of the feet onto the floor. And we're going to let the knees open up towards the sides. So we're coming into our reclined butterfly pose here. The soles of the feet are together. We're just letting the knees open out towards the sides. And if this feels a little bit too intense this morning, we can send the feet a little bit longer down the mat. So the closer that the feet are towards the bottom of the mat, the less intense this is going to feel for the hips. But if we are good here, We've got soles of the feet together, we've got the knees opening out towards the sides, and we're just going to reach the arms out towards the sides here. So the hands and the arms are about shoulder height. Just take a few deep breaths here. With every exhale, softening the body as much as we can. Noticing if there is anywhere that we might be holding on to tension. Check in with your hips. Check in with your shoulders, your back. A few deep breaths here. And then we can bring the hands onto the outsides of the knees if we need to, just to help the knees come back in. We're going to keep the soles of the feet on the floor, keep the knees bent up, and walk the feet to about the same distance as your mat. We can have the arms either down by the side, or we can take them back out into that wide position, shoulder height here. And we're just going to find a little rock side to side with the knees. Beginning to bring a gentle twist in through the body. And then maybe every time the knees fall towards the right, we might send our gaze towards the left. Bring the knees back up, let them fall towards the left, and we send our gaze towards the right. So our knees and our gaze looking opposite directions here. Starting to bring a little bit more movement into the body, making this a full body experience. Starting to maybe breathe a little bit deeper here, welcoming in that nice fresh oxygen. Breathing into the body. Let's take one more each side. And then we'll bring the knees back up to center, bring the gaze back up to center, and hug the knees in towards the chest one more time. From here, we're going to come up to seated. So you have the option to maybe roll yourself onto one side and then bring yourself up to seated. Or if you're feeling a little bit energized, we might start to find a gentle rock through the spine. Just rocking ourselves up and down a few times, and then eventually coming up into seated on our mats. We're going to keep the knees bent up, soles of the feet on the floor, and just take your hands to in front of your knees here. We're going to find a gentle seated cat-cow to begin to warm up through the spine. So as we inhale, we're going to think about bringing the chest forward, rolling the shoulders back, and taking the gaze up towards the sky. As we exhale, we're going to tuck the chin in towards the chest, straighten out through the arms, and arch through the spine. So inhale, we come forward, open up the shoulders, a little dip in the low back. As we exhale, chin to chest and round out through the spine. So it's almost like we're trying to make a little C shape with our back. Inhaling forwards, exhaling to round under. Taking a few like this. Letting the spine roll forwards and backwards. Maybe starting to make the movement a little bit bigger each time. Inviting a little bit more movement, a bit more energy. Take one more full breath in your own time, and then we'll all meet back in our seated position where we are going to straighten out through the legs. When I say straighten out the legs, it doesn't matter if the knees are completely straight or have a little bit of a bend through the knees. It doesn't really matter. We're going to bring the right knee in towards the chest. Keep the left leg just as long as it can go. We're going to take our hands around our right knee. We're going to inhale to sit nice and tall, and then exhale, we're going to find our twist. And we might keep our hands around the knee, or we might release the right hand out behind the hip. Breathing here. Think about trying to open the chest out towards the right hand side. Our gaze can be maybe out towards the right, or maybe starting to look over that back shoulder. Keeping the spine long here. Taking deep breaths, inviting as much energy into the body as we can. Take one more full round of breath here. And then exhale, release all the way back through center. Straighten out the right leg. Bring in the left leg. We take the same stretch on this side. So take the hands around the left knee. Inhale to sit tall in the spine. Exhale to find your twist. Either keep your hands on the outside of the right thigh, or the left thigh, or maybe we release the left hand back onto the floor. Inhale, the spine grows long. Exhale, we find our twist. The chest is opening towards the left hand side. We're maybe starting to send the gaze towards the back of the room. Deep breaths here. Take one more big inhale. Taking a full exhale. And then slowly release back through center. We are going to bring our legs into our easy pose here. So just coming into a nice easy cross-legged position. Bringing the hands onto the knees. And then we're just going to start to bring a little bit of movement through the body. So think about taking your torso into these big circles here. Bringing as much movement into the body as we can. Inhaling to come forward and around, and exhaling to release back. And it doesn't matter if the hips begin to rock a little bit here. It doesn't matter if the neck is moving, the shoulders are moving. We want everything moving here. We want to start getting that movement through every part of the body. So just move organically here, and move in a way that feels good. Don't worry about how this looks. Let's switch directions. Just start to take a few the other way. And then eventually come back into center, back into your cross-leg position. And we're just going to take the chin down in towards the chest here. Start to open up through the back of the neck. And then take a few little half neck circles. Just rocking one ear to one shoulder. And then back through center and across the other side. Chances are we might be a little bit stiff in the neck, in the upper back, after what was hopefully a full night's sleep. And so take your time to work out any little sticky areas here, releasing any little knots in the neck, getting yourself ready for the day ahead. And then the next time that we have the chin in towards the chest, we can stop and pick the gaze back up to center. Nice. From here, we're going to roll forwards onto our hands. So our hands are coming towards the mat, and we're going to release our knees out behind us. We're in our tabletop position. We have our wrists under our shoulders and our knees under our hips. And we're just going to take a few little circles through the hips here. So again, it doesn't really matter how this looks. We just want to be bringing as much movement through the lower back and through the hips as we can. So just circle your tailbone around. Take a few one way and then take a few the other way. And then come back into a nice neutral position, nice neutral spine here. We're going to come up for a really quick downward facing dog just to get that energy flowing. So we're going to spread the fingertips wide. We're going to tuck the toes under, start to send the hips back. And then whenever we're feeling ready, we're going to lift the hips high, send them back. We're going to keep the knees bent here, straighten them out if that feels good. But if it feels better to keep them bent, keep them bent. Take a few deep breaths. Maybe find some movement. Walk the dog out here. Just bend and straighten each knee at a time. Let the hips rock side to side if they need to. Come back into stillness, back into your downward facing dog. And if you need to take a break out of this, that's okay. Just bring the knees back to the floor. We're only here for a few more breaths. Let's shake the head here as if we're saying no, just releasing tension from the neck. Let's nod the head yes. Come back to stillness. Take a nice deep bend through your knees and then begin to walk your hands all the way back towards your feet, meeting in our forward fold. So knees can be bent or straight. We're just releasing the upper body down over the legs here. Taking a few breaths. Maybe taking hold of opposite elbows. We might find a little rock from side to side. And then coming back to center, release the arms, take a nice deep bend through the knees, and on your next inhale, very slowly roll yourself all the way up to standing, stacking the knees, the hips, the spine, the shoulders, and then the head. Nice. When we come up to standing, we're going to inhale to take a nice big reach up towards the sky. Bring the palms together and exhale your hands down towards your heart. Close the eyes here. Take a few deep breaths. Take nice deep inhales in through the nose and full releasing exhales through the mouth. Take another few just like that. Bringing in as much energy as we can. Sending yourself a little bit of gratitude for stepping onto your mat. And then whenever you are ready, opening up through the eyes. And you are now hopefully feeling ready to begin your day. So whatever you are getting up to today, I hope you have a fantastic one. Thank you for practicing with me. If you liked, please give a like. If you would like to see more like this, please subscribe. And from me to you, namaste.